kind of know where we want to land, but not wanting to land so high that it makes it an unpopular place to move to, you know what I'm saying?
And it's gotta be a realistic number.
Right.
For both programs.
So,
And I will say this too, as far as the road number goes, I'm comfortable having that in there at $100 and allowing half to come and say, this is how we believe it plays out. They did a lot of detail on this for a project that we are doing in Tarrant County and at Eagle Mountain Lake. And they did a 20-year schedule and they worked with the Public Works Department in Tarrant County and they came up with a good estimate that everyone could live with. I think they'll do the same thing here on this. And as far as the EMS number, like I said earlier, a $500 number, somewhere in that range. 464 is the number I had in my calculations, but 500 is a number I've heard that the town might want to see, and I don't object to that. Now, the first year, there's no houses to levy, so as far as these blanks go, there's no houses to levy that particular portion, but for our discussion right now, $500 a lot in that section.
what's the time frame on this curve as far as within the first year? How many houses do you feel like there's going to be put down?
Let's assume that the 77 lots are on the ground by March 13th of 2013, which is the contract requirement right now. We would think that 50 houses would be on the ground by the end of next year.
Total build out completed when?
Within a year and a half to two. We think that is a very good spot in the corner, and it's probably a lot quicker build out than we had first thought, based on our discussions.
And the only reason I'm asking that is I'm looking at that 5-year agreement that we're going to go into with the interlocal based on where we're going to be in this build out. So if we go forward and say, yeah, we're fine with that, and then we see this payment coming in as well within that 2 years, of course, that's going to help supplement that increase that we're seeing right now. So that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
That's a good thing. But I want to make sure that whatever this rate is, that it's fair to the rest of the citizens of the town, and that we don't have folks living on the ETJ to pay a cheaper amount than we do, and still pay the same taxes. So that's why we got to get real close on this, because I don't want to underestimate that number, and of course not overestimate, that's going to hurt the build out. So, are you okay if we were to go ahead, if everything else looks good for the council, if we went ahead and put a ceiling on these, that gave us a little bit more time to discuss that amount?
As far as the C and D inserts go, those could be zero for the first year, but the discussion is, right now, is a high-end limit, and what I'm asking the council to consider is $500 as the top side of what we're anticipating right now on the supplemental for EMS. And as far as the roads go, insert $100 and let's wait to see what half the associates recommends.
Just multiply that out by how many lots?
The number of lots in phase 1 is 77 lots.
160.
Right, and the 467, 464, you come up with through just the fire piece only.
No, if I just calculate what you're paying for fire, $134 a person, and if I have 2.5 people per house, it's $337. That's what, if you take your payment right now, about $39.72, that's what it is. But I think the part that's not being considered is, the people that we're adding are going to add to your sales tax. There's a lot of benefits to having you there. And as far as your scope of service, as far as police go, I think that's something that you're going to be able to say to us. Patrols out there will be here, here, and here, more limited perhaps than the rest of the town. We understand that. That's kind of how the districts do on created. They don't have as much patrol as people in the city do. We understand that. But that's when I say scope of services, you're able to define what that scope is.
All right, so you're basing your number based on head count. We've been basing our number based on rooftops.
Well, but your charges on your contract may or may not go up with the addition of our ETJ property, so it may just be able to help you supplement your increase.
Lance, what's your recommendation?
Well, I think we use those numbers that Kurt initially talked about. I mean, I had the initial amount, and
lots or the 77 cars?
Well, remember, what you're really calculating for that one is really what you're assessing for the first year, which is 0. But for our discussions here, for our expectation, either put just $500 or 500 times 77, which is the phase 1 number. That's what we've done trying.
48.5.
But this is for,
But this is for phase 1 and phase 2.
It is,
so
so you can do the full multiplication, but it's still not what we're gonna ask to be assessed the first year. You won't have any 0 houses, but I understand if you want to just try to disclose what it's gonna be, then 160 times the number, then that's not what we would ask, but I think.
80.
And when we say 160 lots, we may not end up with 160, we may end up with 156 because of our open space requirements and where we're putting the pool and that sort of thing, but that's 160 is our total lot count, but when we start arranging things, sometimes the reality doesn't always, doesn't change the assessments, it just, in the end, there might only be 156 houses, but not 160.
So do we need to put an actual total figure in there, or just say number of lots, or 160 lots times?
I would multiply it out to that.
To the number.
60 times.
You would?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way that the initial resolution was done, based on smaller figure. What's your alternative?
Well, I mean, just based on what he's saying, you know, it may not work out to be that 160, and we're sitting here looking at this number, and we're basing it on,
Well,
I
I don't-
don't mind if the number goes down.
yeah.
You know, just, that would be the
Well, but
next.
if the number goes down, then the cost goes up.
No,
Why?
it's just because it's an assessment per lot. And I mean, I hope we get 160 lots, but in reality, we may not get 160. And the same goes for our capital assessment. We're assessing for them 5 against 160. If we lose 4 lots, we lose the assessment on those 4 lots. That's just our problem. But it is an assessment on a per lot basis. So right now, 160 is our lot count, so that's what should be used.
Okay, other questions for Bert?
And I don't know about the, and I guess, did we come to a solution on the number for the road?
No, we didn't.
Okay, I guess that's the.
Kurt, so I think he's asking for what, up to $100, which you
I
said?
had 57 in here, but $100, and half can come and say, this is how we think the fund should go about it, this is our recommendation. And they'll make that, that'll be their official report, and they'll have to do that at the levy hearing.
Now, how does that work through this, Kurt, as far as the road bond itself, since you'll be paying for that road bond?
The developer still has that in place.
So we're looking at, though, at least 5 years.
Or whatever your requirements are.
Right. What is it, Jeffrey, is it 3 or 5?
On a normal road bond,
Right.
usually 2.
2?
We've done on everything in the past. History.
So whatever your general requirement is, that'll apply to us, and then half will come in and say, this is our expectation in our experience with these type of roads. And they'll say, this is how we recommend building a fund. And they've done it before, so I think that they'll come up with a good number.
What else, Kurt?
That's all I have, just, that's all.
Okay. Questions from the council before we discuss this? All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Lance, any more items we need to discuss on this that you looked at?
No, I was, couldn't answer my question about the tax collection, or the collection of the assessments. And since that's not going to be covered under our, probably not covered under since it's 6. I just want to make sure we have the rest of the numbers in this.
Right.
So if you're wants to make a motion, you don't have to write down the caption, but you can make a motion, for the creation. If you're just add those numbers. 4C and 4D.
discuss the figure amounts, $100 on the road. Recommendation from Kurt is $464, and we'll go with that, or $500, I heard somebody say.
I'd rather plug in 500 to start off, then if we reduce it, we've covered the high end. I think is what he's asking us to do, cover the high end on his back end. If that's out of line.
Lance, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, if this passes, Christie's another meeting on April 3rd, is that correct? Entertain a motion if there's no discussion.
Please have that next
Councilman Moore?
I'd like to move to accept a resolution authorizing establishing and creating Hickory Creek Public Improvement District Number 1 with the acceptance of item 4C at $100 value and 4D at $500 value.
Or is that with what, multiply by 160?
Multiply both by 160 lots.
Okay. Councilman Moore's made a motion, with a second.
Second.
Councilman Kenny seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you April 3rd.
Yes.
Okay, next item, D8, discussion regarding the future construction of recreation center in the town of Hickory Creek, Boston partnership with Boys and Girls Club in North Central Texas. We have Troutman's here tonight to talk about that.
Mayor, council members, I'm Deb Stratman. I am the president of the Boys and Girls Club of North Central Texas, and this is.
I'm Rick Troutman, Vice President of Resource Development for Boys and Girls Clubs of North Central Texas.
And what we'd like to talk to you a little bit about tonight is just kind of give you an overview about what the Boys and Girls Club does, why we're here, what we do in the community, and talk a little bit about maybe the feasibility of some kind of a future partnership with y'all. With that, we'll start the presentation.
As soon as you get the computer.
I assume y'all can see it on your computers, that's the idea. This is not a very long presentation. I just wanted to tell you, some of you have visited before, but I wanted to give you an overview of what the Boys and Girls Clubs is and why we're here and what we actually do.
You need the keyboard.
Let's see.
Keyboard.
There we go. I get the right buttons now later. We are a chartered member of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, which is over 4,000 clubs throughout the United States. Every day we look at service programs to over 4 million children. And of the 4,000 clubs, that's about 1,750 locations. This particular location over in Lake Dallas was established in '92, as you can see. And we're a member of the DFW collaboration, which takes into consideration Tarrant County, Arlington, Dallas, Rockwall, and Collin counties in Denton County. And there are about 40 locations, about 40,000. Actually, that number is low. I just learned about it not too long ago. About 40,000 club members a day. And since the beginning of the club here in Denton County, we have provided programs to children between 6 and 17, to thousands of kids, and last year we did about 1,200 kids came through our program. What most people see, if you ever go to the club, is you will see kids come in, we open at 2:30, close at 6:30 during the school year. We're open from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. during the summer months, and we actually have 2 different programs. One for the school year, which we use to help the kids become better students, and several of the programs up there, and Babs is going to talk about this briefly, about some of the things that we actually do. Well, we're not a daycare. We are a recreation facility. We're not licensed as a daycare. We are a recreation facility. When people come in, they actually are club members. Each child that comes in is a club member. They get a card and they become members of the club. And some of the programs that we offer, and Babs, you want to just kind of go over briefly what some of the things that we do during the day?
These are our primary focus areas of different programs, but our three main points that we really focus on, and our facility, like I said, is considered a neighborhood recreational facility. What we focus on is academic success for the kids. And I'm just going to kind of give you some numbers as we go through this. Of all of the kids that are members of our club and participated in our after-school program, 98% of all those kids last year were B or above in every subject. The year before, 97% of those kids were B or above in every subject. I would say of that 1% each year, they are doing the best that they can with the limitations, either physically or the mental challenges that they're facing. The other percentage, they're too lazy. So it's not that they couldn't, but there are some kids that are just not going to get with the program. Our health and life skills, we really look at and talking about, we're trying to teach kids how they help their life. The diabetes rate, the juvenile diabetes rate is out of whack. Kids are not getting as much physical exercise as they used to. We're seeing lots of diagnoses of ADD, ADHD, and a lot of what we're seeing are kids, yes, they have conditions like that, but a lot of the situations and behavior that they display can be kind of dissipated with a lot of exercise. So last year, 98% of our kids, 98% of our kids, I'm sorry, I don't think that's right, 95% of our kids passed the President's Challenge. We have a triple pay program. We're teaching them about healthy snacks, and they all do physical exercise. Our sports and fitness, we are just getting ready to kick off a girls' flag football team, and it will consist of all ages of girls. We have a boys' flag football team. These kids, most of them don't participate in league sports. Either they don't have the money to do it, or their parents are not going to take them for practice. So these kids are going to be able to practice right after they get out of school. They'll be at the club, we'll feed them, and then they'll be able to participate. We have an arts program. We find that a lot of our kids, the difficult life situations that some of them have, art is a great way for them to express those emotions and direct it in a positive channel. And then our education career, we talked a little bit about where we are academically. We're doing a mentoring program. We tutor these kids. And depending upon the level of tutoring and mentoring that they need, that's the degree that we try to provide to them. We do that through volunteer service. In our career programs, we have a special program that is particular value in the summer. We run, where we work with our teens, we teach them job skills, and we work with Old Navy, we work with Banana Republic, we work with the Gap, and teaching these kids what it's going to take to become employable and hopefully breaking either the poverty cycles or the cycles that they've been receivers of services for years.
I'd like to just kind of back up just for a second. One of the things that people ask us is where we get our funding. We are 501c3. We do not get any funding from the national organization out of Atlanta. We actually pay them to be a chartered member. And we don't get any funding from United Way. All the money we raise is from, the majority of it's from donations. And we do have a small charge that we charge the kids, but nobody's turned away to attend the club. And the reason I have legacy up there is we get asked a lot, because we're a nonprofit, why would we want to give to you? And I always tell people the same thing, and that is most of the nonprofits that are around here, they're all very wonderful organizations, they're usually reactive. We look at a legacy gift. In other words, if somebody steps up and helps us, and you're helping a child, you're changing their life, you're literally changing for the rest of their life. If you make them a better person, the theory is, which is carried over 100 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been in business, you're going to change their family. Their families, they're going to have children, their kids are going to be better. So literally, you're looking at something that lasts a legacy instead of a one-shot thing. I'm just going to go through a few things as we talk to people about why we exist, why do we even care. These are actual numbers from the national organization that you can see up there. 3 out of 10 kids won't graduate on time in the United States. Those are national numbers. Our numbers here in this area are a little bit better. We were blessed in that area. And you'll see that over 90% of our alumni have graduated on time, which is a big thing. because the longer they stay back, it's harder for them to get through the school. This one probably tends to be more something that Roger would be interested in, but we all do. 3 to 7 p.m. is the time when kids go out and become juveniles. And the unfortunate part that almost 15 million kids are latchkey kids in the United States. And every day they go home and they don't have any place to go. That's why we exist. All these pictures you see up here are all kids over the club.
I also want to point out that of the club members that we have, none of our kids have been involved in the juvenile system.
That's the great thing. Since Babs has been there almost 8 years, none of them have been involved in the juvenile system while they're going to the club, and we've never had a child not go on to the next grade. So it's a great accomplishment we have. This one is fairly typical. You see across the United States, 3 out of 10 kids are obese or overweight. 80% of our alumni, they maintain their fitness regimen while they leave because they've learned that. And we have over there, we usually have college students, UNT football players, have come in and helped with keeping the fitness programs going. The kids, the boys especially, like it a lot because they listen to the coach. When the coach tells them drop down and give them 20, they pretty well drop down and give them 20. They don't mind doing it. 1 out of 5 kids lives in poverty now, and this is just an overview of the national organization. That's why there's so many clubs involved in public housing in Native American areas. Now, and I have to say this because one of the things is we have a lot of people that volunteer at the club. We have people that come in, of all walks of life that come in. We have some that come and help read to the kids. We've had mentors come in. We have a mentoring program we're getting ready to start down in Louisville. That's really a very important part of helping. A lot of people say, I got to write a check. Well, that's good, but helping a child become better as a student or better as a grown-up is just as important too.
I also want to throw just a little bit of stats out there. We had the Boys and Girls Club of America, probably been about 1.5 years ago, do a study for us, and they did a 5-mile radius of our club. And within that 5-mile radius, there were more than 10,000 children that would be coming into a Boys and Girls Club program. And of those 10,000 children, 6,500 of those children were living in poverty. Scary.
I'm kind of results-oriented person, so I look to see what kind of results we've had. We don't have the ability to give you some of the people that come to our club because we're now starting to see, after Babs has been there, the kids now are graduating from high school going to college, so we're starting to see the impact from there. Everybody I'm going to show you here, and you're going to see a short video here in a second, it's only 1.5 minutes long. These people that you see up here are involved because they were Boys and Girls Club members. Denzel Washington happens to be our national spokesman. He wrote a book about being a club member a couple of years ago. He speaks about it all the time. He still goes back and talks to his mentor at Mount Vernon when he grew up. This lady's on TV tonight, I think, or tomorrow night. Grew up as a Boys and Girls Club person. And she will talk about that. They all have the comments of it, says be extraordinary. And some of the other people, like this one, General Wesley Clark. He's been a member since 1959. There's a lot of people famous and people that are community leaders. There are people here in this area that you would probably didn't know that they went to Boys and Girls Clubs. And they won't tell you that until you start asking them, and all of a sudden, hey, I went to the Boys and Girls Clubs and made a big difference on my life.
I do encourage you, people run into ask them if they've ever attended a Boys and Girls Club, because it's amazing how many people have been and participated and still continue volunteer time at the Boys and Girls Club.
As I said earlier, it takes money to run our club. We have national partners, we have local partners. These national partners have stepped up the last several years. JCPenney up in Denton has what they call pennies from heaven, roundup, where you go in, if you buy something, it's $2.75. Last year rounded up the next whole dollar, makes it $3. We got over $4,000 from them last year. Staples, the last couple of years, if you go in and they'll ask you for an extra $1, we get that money from both the Staples in Denton and the Staples in Louisville, and so therefore we don't have to buy a lot of office supplies. They give us a card, a gift card, we can go in and use it. Michael's has come in, they give us a lot of Christmas gifts, and just recently they gave us quite a few items for school supplies. Capital One is just another national organization. There's many I can go on, but this is one that people go through us and get a credit card, use it the first time, we get $50. You don't have to ever use it again, but they give us the donation. these are some of the local people that have stepped up and helped the club. Then South Rotary last year gave us a grant for $15,000. Walmart, this local Walmart, along with about 12 or 15 other Walmarts, have given us about $15,000 in the last 12 months. Roofity is a great organization. They actually repair roofs. They put new roofs on houses all over the Metroplex area
And commercial.
and commercial, and they give us 15 to 25% of every one of those roofs when they do. If we give them a customer and they can take care of them, we get about 15% to 25%. Then benefit leave, I was sitting here on my computer, we just got brand new computers from them. Prostex Pipeline Company just started helping us out. Qantas Club has upgraded several $1,000s for us. GSD Mortgage, the board member, the president of that company's on our board. And Weedman, once again, giving us several $1,000s. And most of these people up here are giving it because they don't want anything in return. They just want to help the organization. And they just say, use the money, help kids, and that's what most of them do. All right, this problem. I forgot you have a different font. We have 3 events coming up. One of them, and I'll just talk about this briefly. Our charity golf tournament's April 26th at Lantana this year. As in last year, Wendell Middlebrooks, who is from Fort Worth, he co-stars in ABC Body Creek. Most people know him as the Miller High Life delivery guy. He will be there. He doesn't play golf, he just makes people laugh when he shows up. And I tell people, how can you help as a sponsor people? I know that we're going through a different thing, but a lot of times people just ask me, how can I help? We have a corporate giving society. We have the 3 events, which this year, April, is the golf tournament. We have a Vegas performer, magician coming out in October. And then we have a big band, it's our first one out, the Awesome Big Kid. We get people to donate financial and in-kind gifts like Michael's does. Some people like to sponsor a club member. It takes $3,600?
It's $3,600.
$3,600 a year for the kids to come, one child to come to the club. And if you compare that, we always tell people it's about $11 a day, I don't know if that figures out right, to bring kids to the club. It's $230?
It's $232, and we just heard from the juvenile judge that number has gone up to have a child in the criminal justice system, the juvenile justice
So
system.
you can pay $11 a day, have them come to the club, or pay $232, which you have no control over. And then, obviously, you can volunteer, or just become an advocate of the organization, and just tell people about us. And that's the last slide, and I'm going to get out of here real quick, and I'm going to show you. That was taken last summer, and I'll just tell you real quick, the people in the back are volunteers. They came out to help. We do an annual ice cream social. And we bring hot dogs. It's amazing how many hot dogs kids can eat at one time. I eat 4 and 5, and you're like, I don't know
We've
what,
got
these
one
kids are like that.
lessening gluttony too.
And I have to share this with you. The tall gentleman in the back is a former SMU football player many years ago. He came, he heard about the club for a long time, and he got there, and he was so moved. It's really difficult to actually come over and see what we do with the kids. That he walked down to Sonic and he bought some Sonic cards, gift cards, and he walked up to one of the staff members and said, would you give these out? And he said, you want to give them to the kids? He goes, no, I want to give them to you. So he was so impressed by what they did that it was really heart-moving to him to see how the kids were treated and all that stuff with our staff. So with that, we're going to move real quickly to
Every child follows a path, right? For many, that path will lead them to a door. A door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, towards their future. For 100 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs have opened this door for America's youth.